A couple of days ago, me and my wife were doing a bunch of yard work around the house over here, and it was hot, it was sweaty, and we were like getting tired. And we looked at our house and we started talking. It's like, do you think maybe it's time to downsize? And we started talking, and then we were like, listen, we have a lot of square footage that we don't even use anymore. We probably utilize maybe half the house now because the kids are older and they moved out. And we do have steps, my office is upstairs, so you do have, we have steps and everything. And we're like, maybe it makes sense, sell this house, downsize. And on paper, we wrote down, we went inside and we wrote down a few things on paper, and we're like, on paper, it makes sense to downsize. But then we started talking more and more about it, and we realized it's not just about reducing square footage, reducing maintenance, but it's also about things that we're going to have to give up. And that's what this video is about. Okay, towards the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you guys what we decided to do and the reasons why we did it. And I think for you people out there that are saying, you know what, I'm not going to live in this house forever, I'm going to downsize, maybe move into a condo, maybe move into a townhouse, this video is for you, because that's where we are now too. I'm 59 years old, turning 60, and this is not a huge house, but it's not a small house. So let's get into it. In the meantime, if you like this kind of content, do me a favor, consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. And remember, if you need a real estate agent, my phone number is below. Send me a text, give me a call, and let's talk about it. All right, let's start off on the first thing that we talked about. So I'm 59, my wife is 58 and stuff. And I know a lot of people would say, oh, you're still young, you're still young. I said, yeah, I know, but the years go by really, really fast. And, on paper, we're like, you get a smaller house, it's less to clean, okay? I wrote down a few things that we wrote down. Less yard work to deal with, all right? So that's a big thing, too, because especially here in Florida, when it's like 90 degrees and 100% humidity, you're really killing yourself. And it seems like the grass you have to cut at least once, maybe even twice a week, Fewer repairs. Like I told her, like if we go into a townhouse or a condo or something like that, the maintenance company, the HOA, will take care of a lot of stuff at the outside that we have to take care of now. Our utility bills are going to be lower because, believe it or not, we're paying, like during the summer, we're probably paying $500, $550 a month in utilities. We have two big HVACs. My wife, is from the Northeast. She's from New Hampshire, so she likes keeping the house really, really cool. So obviously it drives up the electric bill and everything. And plus we have a pool, we have a lot of stuff. Even the pool, we used to use it all the time when we first bought this house, but we hardly ever use the pool anymore. And the jacuzzi, I have a jacuzzi right here too. I maybe use it once or twice a year, but when I first bought the house, I was in it all the time. All right. Then we talk about, well, maybe it's less stress, maybe making our lives a little more simpler. So we're like, you know what? It makes a lot of sense to sell this house, buy something smaller, take the equity from this house, pay cash, have some money left over, and do things that, we could do while we're still halfway young, and because we're always afraid that, when we get older, health issues come up, things come up, and then the things you planned are too late. Like they always said, people work till they're like 65, 67, and then when it's time for them to retire and enjoy life, other issues come up and they never make it to the vacation that they always wanted or to do something that they always wanted. So on paper, it makes sense for a lot of people. And a lot of people are, saying, hey, you know what? It does make sense, and that's why I'm going to downsize. But it's not all good. And let me explain. So since I'm in the real estate business, I'm a licensed real estate agent, I looked at inventory, see what's out there. And yeah, there's plenty of stuff out there, but nothing, I still feel that some of the prices are really inflated, okay? And not that we would take a mortgage out because we would sell this house, but we would have to probably take a mortgage out at the beginning until we sold this house, because it's not like, selling this house and then going into another house right away. If a lot of people need the equity from their current house to buy another house, and it's not like this house, say, it's 3,000 square feet. That's a lot of stuff to put in storage for a little while and then find a house, then move it again. At this age, do I really want to do that? No. Okay. Moving costs. I think, from talking to a lot of people that hired movers, the moving cost was quite high. Closing cost, obviously, you're doing a lot of closing costs. Repairs needed for sale. Like, my house needs a few things, not much, but a lot of people, as they get older, they let a few things go. But now that they're putting them for sale, they have to repair those things. Yes, they could live with the problems or the defects or everything, but maybe the new buyers, and now with this competitive market, maybe, it has to be fixed in order to get the price that you want. The other thing too, we were saying, okay, maybe all this furniture that we have doesn't make sense for a townhouse or a condo, and obviously we would have to get rid of a lot of stuff, if not half the stuff. So we're like, oh, that's gonna be a real pain in the neck. And then I looked at it and I'm like, all right, we're gonna go into an HOA or, something like that, a homeowners association to take care of it. And I was looking at some prices. Some HOAs charge $800 a month, $1,000 a month. Yeah, I live in an HOA here where I am now, but I think I pay like $280 or $300 for the whole year. I'm not even sure what I pay because my wife takes care of it, but it's really, really not that much. So I'm like, you know what? This is starting to sound like a little bit of a pain in the neck to move. So we're like, and that's just some of the stuff we were just thinking about is like, all right, we got to think of this stuff too, just moving, how difficult and how stressful. Whenever you're moving, it's stressful. And then obviously, a lot of people, they have to sell their current house to buy another house. So even if they want to buy another house before they sell their current house, they have to qualify for a mortgage. They have to pay closing costs, and then when they sold their house, they could pay off that mortgage. It's just a big, big hassle. But these are some of the other questions we ask ourselves, all right? So we've been in this house quite a long time, so we're homesteaded. So our property taxes aren't as bad as somebody that's just buying now. That's how it works in Florida, because we're homesteaded. It can go up to like 2.9 or 3% a year. If you're not homesteaded, it can go up like 9 or 10% per year. So we're like, our property taxes aren't that bad compared to other people, okay? We're kind of fortunate. So we're going to be giving that up. And I know some of you are going to say, well, in Florida, you could transfer your property taxes. It's not as simple as that. And it's not dollar for dollar either. And the other thing too, maybe, like we have steps. A lot of people are saying, you know what, I can't do steps anymore. Like our bedrooms are on the second floors. And that makes total sense if your bedrooms are on the second floor and you're having a difficult time going up steps. But at the same time, my house, all the bedrooms are downstairs. My office is upstairs, and I've been going more and more homes now, and then they have that. I'm not saying to get it, but people that really can't make it up steps. Some of them have the chair lift that goes up the steps and stuff like that. So we're like, you know what? Our bedrooms are still on the main floor and everything. And a lot of the condos and townhouses that I found that I halfway like, I don't like being on the first floor, especially since I want to be near the water and it could flood. And most of them are on the flood zones. But at the same time, if I get a townhouse or a condo on the second floor, now I am, climbing steps just to get inside the house. Inside the unit. So I'm like, damn it, that doesn't make sense either. So they're like, okay, what if we get into a multi-story building that has an elevator? All right, so do I want to live in a condo that's multi-story, and I have to get to the elevator, then go down the hallway. So every time I have groceries, I have to, put the groceries in a carriage and then take it into the elevator and go up. It's like, no, that doesn't really sound good either. So I'm like, all right, that's another drawback and everything. And I'm like, I don't see me doing that. Right now, I could just pull into the garage, even if it's raining, pull into the garage, open up the door, and pretty much my kitchen is right there and nice and easy. And then we were like, well, we have kids, we're gonna have grandkids, we have family visiting us. When, we lived up northeast, I mean, we saw family, but believe it or not, now that we live in Florida, we probably see more family now because people come and visit us. So we're like, yeah, we have, let's say, we have 3 guest rooms, but now how many times a year do we have guests over? And we really sat and thought about it, and it's like, we have people over probably 6-7 times a year. Now, if we go from this size house to a condo or a townhouse, are people going to still come visit us? That's the other problem too. And then we said to ourselves, well, I have family that lives 20 minutes from here, and the places that I'm picking that meet my needs, it was stuff that I would like and I would buy, I'm like, that's another 30 minutes away. So I'm like, wait a second. I don't want to drive another 30 minutes. So now you see what I mean? On paper, everything seems good. And the other situation that we were running into too, that I was telling Tanya about, was like, me and you walk a lot. We have the walking paths over here. We have sidewalks over here. Those other places don't have like walking. It's like any place you want to go to, the other places that I picked, you have to drive. What if we don't want to drive when we're older that much? Over here where we are, we could walk everywhere. And not only that, but we have like right behind us over here, you guys can't see it, but we have the Pinellas Trail. It's a big bike path. It goes for miles. And we take our bikes and we go onto the trail, right from our house onto the trail, and we go for miles and just go through the preserve, the animal preserve and all that stuff, and just be nice and relaxing bike ride. I'm like, wait a second, we're giving that up too. You see where I'm getting at? On paper, downsizing kind of makes sense. Okay, the layout might not be perfect, the house maintenance might not be perfect, but then we're like, all right, we can't do the housework on the outside because we're getting older, or the pool, but you could hire landscapers to take care of the outside. You could hire somebody to take care of the pool. The neighbors and everything. So if you're going on vacation, it's like we have great neighbors that we could be just like, hey, can you take care of our house? We're going on vacation. Maybe the new place that we're going to it's uncertain what kind of neighbors we have, because now, yeah, I know everybody in this neighborhood pretty much, but on a condo or a townhouse, we're all squeezed into a much smaller spot. So I'm like, what if we don't get along with some of those people? And now we have to see them, in the elevator or on the stairs or in the front, because they're, instead of right in my backyard right now, I have privacy, but over there on those places, I don't have any privacy, and I'm going to run into them all the time. So that's like, okay, that's another unknown of should I downsize? And these are things you guys really have to consider about downsizing. So we weighed a lot of pros and cons and everything, and we felt at the end we were giving up too much to downsize. But when we were outside doing the work, we're like, oh, that makes sense. It would be so much easier, so much less stress. And then when we really got into it, we were like, yeah, it really doesn't make sense. And you guys might be in that. The layout might not be perfect of the house. And financially, a lot of people, that are older, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of them, don't have a mortgage and stuff. Or especially if they're in Florida, they might have been in the house for a long time. They know the layout of the house. They're comfortable in the house and everything. Maybe when you get older and moving to a new place, there's too much uncertainty. But the things that I would do if I was living still in New York or up in New England, I would say, okay, I'm moving to Florida. That's fine. I would try to buy a second home there and visit a lot till I got used to it and saw the situation. And then once I knew I was comfortable with everything, then I would move to Florida into a smaller place. So downsizing to me makes sense if it's a financial thing and you have to do it, it kind of makes sense. But if you're in the Northeast or you're someplace else and then you're moving to a new location and it makes sense to buy something smaller than you currently have, because no matter what you do, even if you buy the same size house, you're still going to have the same problems as you have in the bigger house where you currently live. But if you buy a smaller house in a new location, then it makes sense to downsize. Absolutely. I wouldn't, like in my older years, I wouldn't buy a bigger house just because I could afford it in a different state, because then I'm in the same situation. And a few years later, and I realize that the house doesn't have to be perfect for the next 20, 25 years. Okay, whatever time I'm left on this planet. I always feel like the houses, like even your houses, you're the custodian of that house. Trust me, at one day, somebody else will live in that house and you will not be living in that house. So as the custodian of the house, I'm like, yeah, it's not perfect, but at the end of the day, it's what we're used to and it meets our needs. So no, we're not downsizing. At the end of the day, we are not downsizing. Anyways, that's today's video. I wanted to talk to you guys about downsizing, some of the pros and cons, and our personal story. And we decided we are staying here probably till the end. Doesn't mean we're not gonna have a second home someplace else. So we go visit, and trust me, that place, actually we're building something in Hudson, and it's half the size of this place. All right, and if we go there and we get used to it and we'd rather spend more time there and we like the neighbors and all that stuff, then yes, we might sell this place, and that's a different situation. We're moving to a new location. But as of right now, we're not going anywhere. We'll just hire people because, believe it or not, it makes more economic sense to hire people to take care of the yard and the pool and whatever else we need than to move if you add up all the costs. Anyways, do me a favor, consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel and it's greatly appreciated. And remember, if you need a real estate agent, my phone number is below. Give me a call and we'll talk. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, watch this video right here. I think it's gonna be here or here, but watch that video. I picked it out just for you. Bye.